Have you heard that it's now possible to increase penis size without surgery using only hyaluronic acid injections? But does it really work? Or is it just another overhyped cosmetic trend? This procedure is gaining traction in the United States as a minimally invasive alternative to traditional penile enlargement surgeries. With the rise of medical aesthetics and men's wellness clinics, more men are considering this treatment to enhance their confidence. But before you decide if it's worth it, let's dive into the benefits, risks, and how it compares to other available options. What is the procedure and how does it work? Hyaluronic acid penile filler is a non-surgical procedure performed by licensed dermatologists or urologists. The filler is injected into the subcutaneous tissue of the penis to increase girth and in some cases enhance overall aesthetics. Minimally invasive, no cuts, scars, or extensive recovery periods. Instant results. The increase in girth is visible immediately after the procedure. Reversible. If a patient is unsatisfied, special enzymes can dissolve the hyaluronic acid. Quick recovery. Most patients resume normal activities within a few days. How long does it last? And what to expect? The effects of hyaluronic acid are temporary, typically lasting between 12 and 24 months before the body naturally reabsorbs the substance. This is because hyaluronic acid is a naturally occurring compound in the body, primarily used to retain moisture and provide volume to tissues. Over time, enzymes like hyaluronidase break it down, causing the filler to gradually dissipate. Patients should also be aware that the longevity of the results can vary based on factors such as metabolism, lifestyle, and the amount of filler injected. For example, individuals with faster metabolisms may notice the effects diminishing sooner. Additionally, activities that increase blood flow to the area, such as intense exercise or sexual activity, may accelerate the absorption process. What's the real increase, depending on the amount injected? This increase is often described as subtle but noticeable, particularly during flaccid states. Length increase? None. The procedure does not affect penile length, as it only adds volume to the existing tissue. Comparing hyaluronic acid fillers to traditional surgery, surgical penis enlargement options in the US involve more complex and invasive procedures, such as suspensory ligament release. This procedure involves cutting the ligament that connects the penis to the pubic bone, allowing more of the pineal shaft to extend outward. While it can create the illusion of increased length, it does not actually add tissue and may result in a less stable erection. Fat transfer or silicone implants. Fat transfer involves harvesting fat from another part of the body, like the abdomen, and injecting it into the penis to increase girth. Silicone implants, on the other hand, are solid devices placed under the skin. Both methods carry risks of uneven results, infection, and scarring. Penile implants, primarily used for erectile dysfunction, these devices can also affect size perception. However, they are not designed for cosmetic enlargement and come with significant risks, including mechanical failure and infection. Why many avoid surgery? Long recovery time. Healing can take months, with limitations on sexual activity and physical exertion. Unpredictable results. Some patients don't achieve the expected outcome, leading to dissatisfaction. High risk of complications, including infections, fibrosis, and loss of sensitivity. For these reasons, hyaluronic acid injections are becoming a more attractive, lower-risk option for men seeking penile enhancement. Risks and side effects of hyaluronic acid fillers. Although considered a safer alternative, the procedure still carries some risks. Swelling and bruising, common in the first few weeks, but usually subsides on its own. Asymmetry, uneven distribution can lead to an irregular appearance, which may require touch-up procedures. Uneven absorption. Some areas may absorb the filler at different rates, forming temporary lumps or bumps. Tissue necrosis rare. If blood vessels are obstructed during the injection, tissue damage can occur. This is why it's crucial to choose a highly skilled and experienced practitioner. High cost. Prices in the US range from $4,000 to $15,000 per session, depending on the clinic and amount used. What do experts say? Medical professionals state that the procedure is safe when performed by trained specialists, but emphasize that results require ongoing maintenance. Dr. John Smith, a board-certified urologist, explains, hyaluronic acid fillers are a viable option for men seeking a non-surgical approach to penile enhancement. However, patients must understand that the results are temporary and may require repeat treatments every 1 to 2 years. Psychologists highlight an important point. Many men's dissatisfaction comes from self-image rather than actual size. Dr. Emily Carter, a clinical psychologist specializing in men's health, notes, the pressure to conform to societal standards of masculinity can lead to body dysmorphia. In many cases, therapy and confidence-building strategies can be more effective than cosmetic procedures. Non-surgical alternatives for confidence and performance. If you're looking to improve your satisfaction and confidence without medical intervention, consider pelvic floor exercises. Strengthening these muscles can improve erectile function and control. Exercises like Kegels are easy to perform and can be done discreetly. Supplements for circulation. Natural boosters like L-arginine, ginseng, and citrulline can enhance blood flow and performance. If you want to enhance your intimate performance 100% naturally without resorting to medications and their side effects, there's a method that has been gaining a lot of attention and has earned my approval. The link is in the description for you to check out the full explanation. Mental training and therapy, confidence-building techniques such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, can reduce anxiety and improve overall self-esteem. Hyaluronic acid penile fillers are a modern, non-surgical option for men seeking an increase in girth without the risks of surgery. However, the results are temporary and the costs can add up over time. What do you think? Would you try this procedure? Do you believe it's worth it? Or just another trend in the aesthetic industry? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you found this information useful, like and subscribe for more insights on aesthetic procedures and men's wellness.